Welcome in another edition of On the Tee. And look at this. We start the show with all three of us. Oh, this is great. On the Tee. Yay. Hey.
Yay. Yay.
Welcome in.
Christina's not wasted. All right.
It's only 7 o'clock. Yay.
I actually got a phone call from a friend of mine after the show last week who asked me, was Christina really drunk? I said, yeah, she was really drunk. Anyway, it is another edition of On the Tee. And of course, myself, Anita Marks, John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club. And this girl over there, I should say, is Christina Thompson, CEO extraordinaire, owner of Golf for Her. We will be with you for the next, 45 minutes to an hour. We will recap the Charles Schwab. We will look forward to the memorial, some of the big storylines out there as well. You've got any questions or comments on the show, post them on our message board. Matt is producing the show tonight. He's on the opposite side of the glass. Brett just had a baby boy. Congratulations.
Yay.
Brett, who typically produces the show for us. So he's pulling daddy duty, which we totally understand and respect and support. So Matt is producing the show. So if you've got any questions or comments, by all means, please post them. Also, we have a special guest who's going to be joining us on the show, and that is Larry Dornich, and he is the head pro at Murfield Village, where, of course, this tournament is going to be played, the Memorial, Jack's Place, as they like to call it. So we're really excited to have Larry on the show, and he'll give us some in-depth analysis in just how different this course is playing as we get closer and closer to Thursday. So with that being said, as always, we start off the show with our wonderful and beautiful mixologist, and that is Christina Thompson, who always has a show drink. And again, our show drink represents the city that the tournament, this week's tournament, is being hosted at. So what do you have here, Christina?
So I know every week we do the PGA and we're always doing our host city drink, but because the women are playing their US Open this week, which is their big tournament, they're in San Francisco. So I had to make a San Francisco drink today.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So this drink is the cable car. It's, simply, named after those iconic little trolleys that, you see going through San Francisco all the time. So this was, I have to tell you, one of the hardest drinks I've ever made because it was a lot of weird ingredients for me. But, I got to tell you, it's really good. It's got ground cinnamon and sugar around the rim, which is really delish. And it's got spiced rum. I can't say Caraco. Is that orange?
Yeah.
Caraco, right?
Yes.
Little lemon juice, simple syrups. And I even did a little spiral. All right, I tried, but I don't have that fancy little drink but it's really good. It's actually the little cinnamon and sugar. So I'm going to drink this one very slow because I know last week that margarita went to my head before I think like the halfway mark of the show. So I couldn't keep myself together. I'm going to keep it together today.
I love it. You know how you get that little spiral? You get that spiral with, the device you use to shave cucumbers?
Yeah. I tried it. It doesn't look that good.
Oh, I was just going to say that's
this is the Food Network now.
It's good. It's strong.
I love it. Wow. We're making a drink for the ladies tonight. I love it.
Yes, for the ladies.
The cable car. Okay. Without further ado, as always, we look back before we look forward, and Coke Rack won it. That's right, at the Charles Schwab. He by winning this, did you see the photograph of this? By winning, he got $1.35 million, but he also got a 1946 Dodge Power Wagon. Did you see the photograph of this? Oh man, this is a big boy truck.
Is this a normal thing, or is this like a special thing for this event? Do they always get a big boy truck?
No, they don't always get a truck or a car.
I'm sorry.
This is special for this event.
Yeah, it's the 75th anniversary of the tournament, which began in 1946.
Okay.
So I think so that's why. But yeah, if you haven't seen a picture of this truck yet, man, it's
like a station wagon, or it's
huge. It's tremendous. It's a truck. It's a
Wait, do they make station wagons? Is station wagon even a thing?
You need to
like the Griswold station wagon.
It's a power wagon. You need a ladder to get on it. That's how big it is.
Okay.
But
now I have to Google this.
But nonetheless, I'm going to give us credit where credit's due. Again, this show On the Tee airs every Tuesday night right here on all our social media platforms. And of course, PFN 365, which we're very grateful for. On Sunday mornings, this show airs on 98.7 ESPN radio. And all three of us on Sunday said Coke Rack. Well, a big reason why I took Coke Rack was heading into the final round. Spieth was minus 225. There we go.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Right? Is that a big boy truck or is that fun?
Oh. Oh my God. That is awesome with the tartan plaid. His jacket is awesome.
You might be a redneck if you drive a truck with the tartan plaid jacket.
You know what? I want that bad boy driving around New York and New Jersey, taking me to all the golf courses I play at during the week. That's what that's a golf vehicle. That's that's getting to and from the golf course for me. Just
go big or go home.
Right? Throw all the bags in the back and go. But
change in the parking lot, right? Change your shoes in the parking lot with that one. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. So, but on Sunday, a big reason why I went with Coke Rack was because you could have gotten him 2-1. He was one shot back, and going in, his metrics were pretty spectacular. Now, for me and John, I want to go to you on this. Like, listen, this was Spieth's tournament to lose. This was his own backyard. This is a course he's very familiar with, and he was putting on a putting clinic. All 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, his flat stick did not show up for him, right? That's the difference that I saw. But why were you fading Spieth on Sunday?
I think, you hit the nail on the head, Anita. There was 96% chance that one of these two guys was going to win the tournament, and putting the money on Coke Rack was a much smarter bet, as we spoke about.
Suki, come here.
Get that dog out of here.
I'm sorry, she's interrupting you. Come here, Mama. What are you doing? Okay, go ahead, John.
It was an ugly start by both players, I would say, on Sunday. Luckily, they had enough of a cushion from the rest of the field to get over. They were combined 5 over par between the two of them to start the round. Spieth bogeyed 3 of his first 4 holes. It was just an ugly start. And listen, he had his chances. He just never took advantage. And I think the quote that he gave Dottie Pepper was, "I have absolutely nothing today," when he was on the 16th hole. So he was kind of keeping it together with smoke and mirrors. Listen, I'll call him out. His iron play was just bad. He drove it okay, but his iron play was bad. And to me, it looked like his distances were off. Like, he had a tough time with – it was cool. You heard him talking to his caddy. He had a really tough time committing to the shot, committing to the distances, and it looked like he was just uncomfortable. But listen, he needs to just hit the reset button and move on. So congratulations to Coke Rack, the first player over 35 to win his first 2 career events in 1 year since anyone? Bueller?
We're waiting. We're on the edge of our seat.
Francesco Molinari was the last
there
one.
There you go.
Hey, Francesco.
Hey.
So
listen.
Chris,
I was going to say,
what did you see on Sunday?
Well, I think it was just fun to watch Coke Rack, go out there in Spieth country. Spieth had like the crowd, it was his tournament, like it was his playground. So, I think that might have given him a little extra motivation to win, just to do it in front of Spieth's crowd. And going back to John, what you said, that like Spieth just looked so uncomfortable out there during his interview. He even said something else I thought was funny. He said, "I was taking the club back and I had no freaking clue where it was going to go." I mean, that to me just says there's something in his head during that whole tournament, and he knew his game was off. And like we've seen the players before, once that gets in your head, like they're trying to fix it during a tournament, and that's really hard to do. Like you can't get out of your own way when they're. So I mean, he held it together, but it was Sunday Spieth. He didn't convert another Sunday. So
when you're playing with the lead on a Sunday, it's almost like you're playing defense against the entire field. He shoots even par on Sunday and he wins this tournament. Mm-hmm. But he just didn't play very good defense. He's like the New York
Yeah.
Knicks. He doesn't play very good defense.
Ooh, ow, oh.
I'm a Knicks fan, and listen.
A few things, bigger picture here to discuss in regard to this tournament and what we saw, which, by the way, before we do get to that, Hoffman finished third along with Kisry.
Munoz.
You like Munoz. Yeah, you like Munoz.
Cha-ching!
Answer Morikawa both tied for 14th. They both had off days, but was able to rebound and recover and finish within the top 20. Corey Connor shot a 71 on Friday. He finished tied for 20, so he finished in the top 20 as well. But JT tied for 40th, and I'm just pointing it out. Willie Zalatoris tied for 59. I'm telling you what's going on. The dude got engaged, but. Here's what I want to touch on before we move on to the FedEx Cup standings. A few things. Number one, Kokrak is putting out of his mind right now. I know last week we talked about Phil and him winning the U.S. Open, that him being considered by Stricker for the Ryder Cup. You just played the course. I'm sorry. You just came from Wisconsin.
Whistling Straits.
Whistling Straits. Thank you. The importance for the Ryder Cup, the importance of putting. What do you feel after you've played that? What do you feel the most important metric is going to be for that Ryder Cup tournament?
You know, I wasn't. I mean, maybe it was because of the conditions we played in. The greens weren't overly fast; they were extremely undulating, but the speed didn't match the undulation. So I'm sure they're going to be faster. I'm sure putting is going to play a big part in Stricker's selections. I just think it's the ability to fight the ball high, fight the ball low, play in the wind, and frankly, playing in big events. This is going to be a huge, huge Ryder Cup after the past 2 years that we've had. So, listen, you talk about how Kokrak has become a great putter. Listen, he was an awful putter for the majority of his career. He switched to a longer putter and has been putting lights out since. So,
yeah,
listen, he puts the work in. But, you know, something as little as like a little putter change, you know, like, hey, this putter is an inch longer. Try this out. And then, oh, hey, I start to make a few. Wow, I kind of feel confident. And that just kind of snowballs. And you think you can make everything inside of 10 feet. And then the pressure's off you to hit it close every time. And then it just kind of affects your whole game. So, and like I said, it's not giving someone a new putter. It's just isn't going to fix them. He's put the work in to do that. But it's something simple like that could just be a spark. And this guy he's firing on all cylinders with the putter right now, and it's carrying him into Ryder Cup consideration.
Well, I think, again, I think we talked about Phil. Should Phil be it? Obviously Phil bringing the crowd and becoming, we saw what happened with him, that final hole at the U.S. Open. And I know how important the crowd is going to be in that Ryder Cup, but also it's going to listen, hashtag champagne problems, right? For Stricker in regard to, putting this team together. But I think Kokrak has to be in consideration. One final thing. He said that the crowd, obviously we talked about Jordan Spieth. This is Jordan Spieth's backyard. The crowd was all about Jordan Spieth, but he said that he heard some really negative comments that he couldn't say, right? Like,
really?
Because they were so, I guess, so nasty,
towards who?
Towards Kokrak. He said he said obviously the crowd on Sunday was all about Spieth. They all wanted Spieth to win, so he was getting beyond heckled. And I share this. I mean, this happens all the time, but I share this because I feel like if anybody's watching the NBA playoffs, for whatever reason, crowd behavior is at an all-time low. Spitting on players, throwing water bottle at players, throwing popcorn on players, and now and for the heckling to be bad enough that Kokrak has to make a comment about it. That it was pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
Right?
It seems like people have forgotten how to be fans. I mean, it's like they're all coming back to these tournaments and no one knows how to be a fan again. It's like every time there's been a tournament, there's something, there's some drama that's happening. Come on, people, let's go enjoy sports. Don't make it, don't turn it into a cage match.
It's unfortunate to say that's the new America that we live in, unfortunately.
It's terrible. I don't like it.
It is. It's pretty horrible. All right, Matt, if you can you pull up the FedEx Cup standings. We show these each and every week after each tournament. Bryson DeChambeau is still.
You kidding me? Playoffs?
Bryson DeChambeau is still at the top. Jordan Spieth coming in second. He goes from 9 to 2, so he's second now in the standings. Just a few points behind Bryson DeChambeau. Justin Thomas goes from 2 to 3. Hovland goes from 3 to 4. Kokrak goes from 27 to 5. How about that? Schauffele 4 to 6. Sam Burns 5 to 7. I'm actually picking Sam Burns to miss the cut this week, by the way. Stuart Sink goes 6 to 8. Cameron Smith 7 to 9. And Patrick Cantlay now comes in and rounds out the top 10. So this is the FedEx Cup standings where they are right now. Another thing I want to take a look at is the odds. Looking forward, we're going to dive into the Memorial, but even one step further, the U.S. Open. How is Dustin Johnson back at the top of favored for the U.S. Open? I don't get it. I'm not putting a dime on him.
I don't understand. All season we've been saying this, and every tournament we're like, well, maybe he's gonna, he'll do something to justify this. Every time we get these standings, he's still there. It's who is doing these? I'd like to know. I want to meet this person.
They're odds makers in Vegas, and they're all over. They're on William Hill, BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, what have you. But here's the thing, guys. I'm not putting money on DJ. I'm certainly not putting money on Papa Ram. All right, I'm not putting money on DeChambeau. I'm not putting money on Rory. And as I just said, JT finished tied for 40th. He's obviously dealing with some stuff. Brooks Koepka, maybe I'll think about it at 14 to 1. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the top 6 guys that are favored, I have some reservations about. John, looking at these odds, is there somebody that stands out to you?
All I look at is 8 guys that are all pretty much the same odds. So it's like,
meeny, miny, mo.
Like it says, like, does anyone know anything? I mean, what's the difference between 10 to 1 and 14 to 1? I mean, this is sure. You want me to pick off a few people in this group that don't belong? Rory, number 1, Dustin, probably number 2, but any of these guys can win. And I bet you if you turn it to the next page where it gets to, 16, 17, 18, 20 to 1, any of those guys can win. It's so hard to pick the winner, and I think that's evident by how close these odds are. Yeah,
that's true. But here's the thing. I would rather put money on Schauffele at 14 to 1. I would rather put money on Morikawa at 21. I'm really curious. I really like Morikawa and Cantlay this week. This is the Memorial, and this is something that I'm going to ask Larry when he joins us on the show. And that is, how this course will be a nice pre-4 rounds for them to get ready for the U.S. Open. So I'm really going to keep a close eye on Morikawa and Cantlay. I'm not putting a dime on Willie Zalatoris at 33 to 1. And then there's Phil at 50 to 1. I feel better putting money on Phil 50 to 1 playing Torrey Pines, a course that, he grew up playing in San Diego, than any of these other guys. That's for sure. Do we, by the way, do we have Larry? Is Larry, do we know, is Larry on board yet? I don't know. I guess not. So
I just sent him a message. He should be on soon.
Okay. So Matt, just as soon as Larry joins, he logs in, just bring him right up. That's fine. Here's another one for you. We heard about the new match, the match 3, right? It's going to be Bryson DeChambeau and Aaron Rodgers, who now, what's going on with him and the Green Bay Packers. Okay. And Phil and Tom Brady defending. You've got Bryson and Aaron Rodgers at -167. You've got Phil and Tom Brady at +130. I don't get this either. I'm all over Phil and Brady. Bryson DeChambeau and Aaron Rodgers, they're loose cannons. How are they favored here? Talk to me.
Go ahead, Christina, because I'm just going to go off on this whole thing. So I'll let you speak before I go crazy.
This is such a distraction. I don't understand why they're doing this. I don't know. It's to me, this is just Bryson. I don't know. I've got no real emotions on this entire thing. I'm still not really.
Shit. This is horrible.
Are you guys going to be watching?
No,
not unless I'm chained to a chair and forced to watch it. But other than that.
Listen, I'm going to put money on Phil and Tom Brady at plus 130. Again, I think the wrong twosome is favored here. Just FYI. Also, Aaron Rodgers he's playing guitar and jumping in waterfalls in Hawaii with his fiance. You think he's going to be?
He's on Jeopardy now, right? He wants to be a Jeopardy's co-host. Is that where I saw him recently?
Host.
Or hosting.
Host.
Yeah, host. Not a co-host.
The host with the most.
He did pretty good. I thought, though.
Could they do something different? I mean, seriously, this is so bad. All right, they're playing golf in the middle of nowhere in Montana that probably anyone who's watching it will never get a chance to play. It's like the same. Like Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be in Green Bay anymore. Phil and Brady, whoop-de-doo. And then you have to listen to Bryson DeChambeau for 18 holes. Joy, that's going to be fantastic TV. And then it's on a Tuesday in July. Could we put women in the event? Could we put an actor or a musician or just someone make it under the lights, make it later in the day?
Use glow balls or something like that.
Why is the guy in Glen Ridge, New Jersey coming up with better ideas than the people running this thing?
That's a great question. Let's look at the Ryder Cup.
Here's to you guys.
There you go. I'm doing dry June, guys.
What?
Right from the bottle with the San Pellegrino.
You guys are just leaving me hanging me out to dry to seriously go to Betty Ford at the end of this tournament.
San Pellegrino. Ooh, San Pellegrino.
Yes, I'm going down to Florida. I'm going down to Florida on June 11th, and I want to. So I'm doing dry June through the 12th. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, you're doing dry 2 weeks. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm doing dry 2 weeks. All right, Ryder Cup. USA is favored minus 137. Europe plus 138. Are they going to tie? Are they going to kiss each other's sisters? I don't know, but it's 12-1. John, again, you played this tournament. You played this course. Should we jump on any of these lines right now?
Yes, USA will win.
Yeah, why?
Yes. I just think the crowd is going to be boisterous. It's an unbelievable venue. I think Phil will be on the team, which I think will also lend to the hype. And I just feel like people are just primed to come out of their shells. It's going to be loud. They're going to have that massive grandstand behind the first hole. Home victory. The Ryder Cup comes back to the U.S.
Well, no, I just want to know it's a link style course, right? So that falls into a favor of Europe, no? So think of
it this way: it's not like it's flat and spread out like you'd play St. Andrews. You can hit it everywhere, and it's penal off the tee. It's long, stupid long. Mm-hmm. So I was playing the pro tees, and there were tees 100 yards behind where I was, and it's going to play into the Americans' favor. It's a shot shapers course. We'll see how the weather is. Obviously, will be a big factor, but I think having the hometown crowd behind you will be a 13th man. Is that right? 13th man. Yep.
All right. Whatever you say, John Miscari, whatever you say. So John says Ryder Cup, go with Team USA minus 137. I'm sure once the golfers are going to be selected and those names are out there, I would imagine that those odds are going to change. The Solheim Cup, let's take a look at this. USA minus 180, Europe plus 188. And again, a tie is 12-1. So, Christina, let's go with you. Let's go to you here. What do you like here?
I mean, I like USA. I mean, I will be there. I will actually be there again. Wow. I went to Scotland 2 years ago, and I will be road tripping out to Ohio.
Here's the hold up.
They're playing Inverness out there in Ohio. I mean, I like US, and so I mean, they came so close in Scotland. I mean, if you watch, I mean, it was such a great tournament. It'll be interesting to see who makes the Solheim Cup. That I'm waiting to see. So it'll be interesting to see if this changes a little bit. But right now, I think the US has a strong chance to take the cup back from Europe, who took it in the final putt with Suzanne Pedersen last year, Marina Alex.
Christina, you were there, right?
I was sitting. I was
Glen
sitting
Eagles?
inside the ropes, man.
Did you paint your face?
I did not.
You're not a face painter?
I'm not a face painter, but I was red, white, and blue, baby.
I remember you the photos you had. It looked like it was a ton of fun. So
it's amazing. It's those tournaments, Ryder Cup and Solheim Cup. If anyone has the chance, I mean, they're both playing in the US this year. So if you can get to those tournaments, get there. I mean, the fact that there's going to be fans at both of these events, I mean, the energy is unlike any other sporting event that you can ever go to. It's I'm not going to curse, but it's fantastic.
You're allowed to curse.
Not doing it.
I'm not going to do it.
Not
I'm not going to fucking curse tonight. I swear to Christ.
You can do it. I'm working on it.
All right. So both John and Christina, who have their finger on the pulse of both the women's and the men's golf. What would we call the Team USA? What would we call it?
It's I don't know. Solheim and Ryder Cups.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they say put your money down on Team USA. For both right now because again.
And I never bet on Team USA. I'm always betting on.
Let me tell you, the US. I can tell you from the women's the US team. I mean, the women who are on that team are winning. The European team obviously is women from all over Europe. But if you look at the density, and we'll talk about it later, but the women who are going to be playing on representing the US are some of the best and the strongest that we've ever had. So those odds are definitely.
Again, we're waiting for Larry Dornich to join us. He's the head pro at Murfield Village, of course, where the tournament is going to be played, Jack's Place. So as soon as he joins us, our producer Matt will have him come on. But guys, let's dive into the tournament and let's talk about who we all like. A few metrics here in doing my research today that you need in your game, in your bag in order to win here. A few things. Number one, driving accuracy, more important than driving distance. Also, this is a second shot course, so you want to look at strokes gained on approach. Also, you really want to pay attention to greens and regulation. Here's and two really interesting little trends here. The last the last 19 winners, okay? 13 of them were in the top 11 in driving accuracy. So 13 of the last 19 winners at this tournament were finished in the top 11 in came into the tournament and were ranked top 11 in driving accuracy. Also, 14 of the last 24 winners were in the top 7 in greens and regulation. And there's one guy that overlaps both those trends.
Who is it?
It's Corey. It's Corey Connors. It's Corey Connors. What
a fucking letdown that was. It's Corey Connors. Oh, thanks for coming.
You also want to pay attention to scrambling. You also want to pay attention to par 5 scoring. So who are the guys that I like heading into this? I like Morikawa to win. You could also, there's a bet out there that you could play Morikawa and Cantlay to win at 9-1, and you could get that at William Hill. But I do like Morikawa to win. That's 16-1. I like Cantlay to finish in the top 5. Both these guys have won here before. They're very good on Jack Nicklaus courses. They putt well on bent grass. And the metrics that I just shared with you, they're towards the top of the leaderboard in all of those metrics that I researched. I mentioned Corey Connors. I like him to finish in the top 10. Hovland to finish in the top 20. And a few top 30 and 40s. Keegan Bradley to finish in the top 30. Hoffman to finish in the top 30. We mentioned him. He looked great last week in that tournament. And Streelman to finish in the top 40. So DFS, So on the left, you can see that's one of my actual lineups. Morikawa, Cantlay, Bradley, Hoffman, Hadwin did well this past week as well. And your guy, Munoz, you could get him. I think you could get him for like $6,300. So he was my cheap ticket at the end. And then I'm going to swap out Hovland for Morikawa, or Morikawa for Hovland, Cantlay for Connors, Bradley for Streelman. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna a little mix up on a play, probably about anywhere between 10 to 12 different DFS lineups, mixing up a lot of these players. So that's my DFS picks and the guys that I like heading into the tournament. John, who do you have?
Let's see. So we have a couple of guys. I put him on top just so you have to pronounce his name. Who's that guy on the top of my list there?
I say Chris Bez.
Chris Anyway, I love Cantlay also. Obviously has a lot of success at Muirfield. I'm well on board with Kevin Streelman as well. He hasn't missed a cut there in like the last 6 times he's played. Kuchar seems to be a top 10 machine at Muirfield, so I threw Kuchar in. I love Victor Hovland to win this thing. His stats, like as you mentioned before, are right in line with what it takes to win there. I also have JT in the top 5. I like Kuchar on the top 10. Cantlay top 5. Munoz top 20. And, surprisingly, I kind of rounded it out with Mark Leishman, who, listen, he hasn't been playing that well of late, but he seems to always get it together at Muirfield. And listen, his last 9 appearances there, he hasn't missed the cut. So if you haven't missed the cut in 10 times playing, it's pretty good that you'll make it 11. So that's my lineup. Jump on board if you want to win some cash.
Christina
sounds very confident, John.
I know,
that's a very
right?
confident
That's
position.
how I roll. Listen, these White Claws are starting to get to me.
Christina, where do you have your monkey knife fight?
I do. I don't know if we have. Yeah. So, okay, wait. I don't know if is that. Oh, yeah, that is it. Yeah. So I have the first one. I have Rom and JT. I think I'm going birdie or better. Both of them less this tournament. I'm not feeling Rom. Not feeling JT on this one. So I
like that. I like that. You're fading them. You're fading Rom.
Yeah.
And you're fading JT.
Yeah. Please use the correct terminology, Christina. It's fading.
Let me just put that
Gamblers
in.
technology. And fading. If you're going to be a degenerate, please be a complete degenerate.
I know. I'm learning. I've got my glossary over here that I'm keeping track of all the new words I'm learning.
There you go.
And my other one, I've got McIlroy and Morikawa. Again, Rory, not feeling it. Am I fading him with fantasy points? I don't know if I'm using that in the right context, but I like Colin. I like Colin to earn me some more fantasy points. I like this one. I think I'm going to win again. I've been doing some pretty good picks here on our monkey knife fight. But
how's that drink doing, by the way?
You know what? It's a very small drink. I told you, listen, you give me like 42 minutes.
Did you eat today?
I didn't. I did. I forgot that I ate. Yes, I did eat. All right. So to win, though, I'm torn between Corey Connors and Colin Morikawa. I'm going back and forth between these two. No, I think Corey Connors. I had him last week. I know he didn't finish where I liked him to finish, but I think I'm going to pick him to win this week. I think I'm going to pick him. I mean, he's 12th in driving accuracy. Right? He's ranked 7th in greens and regulations. I know you were just talking about some of his stats. But, he's had a lot of birdies this season. So I like him. And then Colin, I mean, listen, he won Workday last year, right, at Muirfield. So it's a different course. And I know we're going to talk about the course and the layout. So I'm not sure that's an advantage for Colin, being that, he won it last year. But this is a new course, a new layout for everyone.
So the 2 ladies are taking Corey Connors this week.
Yeah.
Can I take everybody else?
Why are you fading Corey?
I just
what's
don't think
your beef? What's your beef with him? What happened?
I just like
Did he pee in your cereal? What happened? What's going on?
Did he pee in my cereal? What is that, like a South Florida term? What the hell does that mean?
Did he piss in your Cheerios?
What the fuck is wrong with you two? Like, seriously?
Listen, she's drinking Pellegrino.
Go.
At least Christina has an excuse. I don't. Why don't? In all seriousness, why?
I don't like what I see from him. I know you talk about the statistics and how he's primed to win at Muirfield. I think it's a big boy golf course. I think it's going to be set up like a major, And I think you have to be an exceptional ball striker at this place. And that's why you see, if you look at all the winners of this tournament, it's all the big boys in golf. It's Rahm, it's DeChambeau, it's Hovland, it's Adam Scott. Corey Connors,
right?
He doesn't do it for me.
All right, well, we'll see again.
But, you know, Christina, you're like fucking 11 for 12 with winners this year. So,
I mean, seriously. So wait till we talk about the LPGA and the winners I picked again.
All right.
So anyway,
before we get to that, let's talk about some of the other storylines that are out there. And I know we talked about this last week with Bryson and Brooks Koepka. You know, there's an article out there. I think it's Golf Digest or and I apologize where I read this. I should know, but they did a deep dive into because John, I think you mentioned that you think that this is a little contrived, right? I
wouldn't say it's contrived. Like they got together, like, hey, let's get a little beef going. I think it's blown out of a little bit of proportion, just to kind of bring attention to golf, bring attention to these two. It's like kind of like wrestling, you know. I think of like wrestling back in the day, like, you know, the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, and they're going to talk about this guy on camera, this and that. And they got this, who's the heel and who's the baby face, and this and that. And I just think it's a little bit of self-promotion for them both.
I'd like to see them both in a cage. I'd like to see like one of them take like a folding chair over another guy, like jumping up onto the rails and like pounce on the other. That would be fun then. You want my attention? Now you got it. No, I don't think it was contrived.
Cage match?
I think Koepka just has such disdain for Bryson. It's been going back for a year, 1 or 2 seasons now. It's not a new thing. So,
well, I mean, and again, this article kind of like really did a deep dive into it. Suki, mama, come here. And it was, it goes back to slow play, okay, which annoys the hell out of Brooks. Apparently DeChambeau made some interesting comments, not too flattering in regard to Brooks when Brooks did the body issue. I think he posted something or said something and, work out much, bro, or something like that.
No, he says something about like he didn't even show his abs. Like he didn't show his abs. And then Koepka took a picture of his 2 U.S. Opens and his 2 PGA Championships and said, yeah, I'm just a few short of a 6-pack.
I wish I could be that witty.
And then that apparently there was also an issue. Remember when Brooks when DeChambeau wanted to drop because of ants? There was something about and Brooks made fun of him because of that. I mean, like there's just a laundry.
They don't like each other. They just don't like each other.
My point is there is a laundry list out there as to a number of reasons why. Now here's where I'm going with this. Do you think that they will be paired up with one another in the U.S. Open?
Please no. Please no. Please
no.
no.
Come on.
Please
Don't you want to see that?
Yes. There's this part of me that's like, yes. And then this part's like, no, because it'll distract from the U.S. Open. That's how.
Remember, the USGA is like all about, well, we must make sure the golf is respectable.
Oh, okay. My gosh.
Was that, yeah.
That was my Thurston Howell.
Thurston Howell. I couldn't think of his name.
Muffy,
But this is they want ratings. Are you kidding? You know how many more people would watch just because of the
story? What do you expect? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, they're gonna drop the gloves and fight like it's a hockey game? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, they're gonna.
That would be awesome if they allowed
awesome.
What is that when they check on the hockey rink? Is that what it's called? Checking?
Wow.
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 Don't go there.
Wow.
This is a golf show.
Just wow. Anyway,
I'm sorry I broke your heart, John.
So here's the thing. I'm hoping they get paired up with one another.
If they shoot the same score, they're gonna get paired up together.
It's true. It's true. Before we dive into the LPGA, Tiger Woods had an exclusive with Golf Digest, and he came out this week and said that this rehab is the most painful thing that he's ever had to experience. And that says a lot, guys, because all the surgeries he's had with the back and the neck and the knee and this and that. And we know that his history has not had a very, very easy time dealing with pain and painkillers. So just not a really good interview. Not, you just thoughts and prayers. And, obviously we all want Tiger Woods to get back into action. It just, sounds pretty discouraging.
Can I ask you guys something? Do you think the motivation has increased since Mickelson won the PGA for Tiger?
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised we didn't see him, like, you mean talking with Tiger's rehab? Yeah, I'm waiting for him to just
you feel like Tiger's like, I feel I'm going to win it after 51.
Yeah.
I'm going to win a major.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening, but do you feel like
let's
switch went off with Tiger? All right, let's go.
But let's really put this in perspective. Okay, you've got Tiger Woods coming off of a horrific car accident with a compound fracture. Like, we don't even know if he's going to be able to, walk as well as he did before, let alone ever play golf as well as he did before. Meanwhile, on the opposite end, you've got Phil, who's in the best shape of his life, right? He's lost weight. He's eating differently. He's working out. He's mentally focused. Like, you're talking about two golfers on opposite ends of the spectrum in regard to where they are health-wise. So
yeah, but they're both so overdriven. They both have such drive, and they're coming from different places, obviously. But I think there's no doubt that both of them have, like, they want to be out there. This is everything to them. And I know Tiger, maybe he's not going to play the way that we've seen him. I mean, I think we've all been very lucky to be able to watch Tiger in his prime and watch those momentous tournaments. But Tiger will be back teeing it up. There's no doubt when.
I think it grinded his gears for sure watching Phil with that trophy. And he's like, all right, it's on. Like,
sometimes we all need that little motivation, haters gonna hate, but it's like, I think sometimes you need that.
Like, I have to get mentally motivated to come on this show every week. So I have to kind of sit with myself and be like, all right, come on, John, you can do this.
Do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it's all about. With that being said, LPGA, you crushed it again, lady. You won me some money. As always, we look back before we look forward. Talk to us. What happened at the Bank of Hope LPGA match play?
Man, what a great tournament. It was, she had with a 3-foot putt on 17, Allie Ewing won the inaugural Bank of Hope LPGA match play at Shadow Creek. It was right outside of Las Vegas. I mean, she took a 2-1 victory over Germany's Sophia Popov. It earned her second career LPGA title. Allie won this event on her 1-year wedding anniversary. So that was a nice little present for her husband. But, it was a really long tournament. It was a hot day. I mean, they had 5 days, 7 rounds of golf, over 120 rounds of golf. They played through some blazing conditions. It was like 90 to 100 degrees on some days. So it wasn't an easy tournament to win. We had the final 4, which I picked, Aria Jutanugarn and Allie Ewing, and then Shen Feng and Sophia Popov. But as you know, like with match play, we went Allie Ewing played Sophia, and obviously Allie won, but there was another tournament that was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Shen Feng versus Aria Jutanugarn. And Shen Feng, she lost her semifinal match to Popov on Sunday, but instead of heading back out to play against Aria in the consolation match, Shen decided to concede the tournament. And, she played 112 holes over 5 days, more than anybody else out there last week. And I know, Johnny, it's like the thumbs down. I know she got a lot of, shit for that. Like, oh my God, I can't believe she just conceded. Not even one stroke was played. I mean, she just was like, I concede. Aria gets it. I think she took a hit of her pay of like $23,000 to go to take outright 4th position. But I mean, she got a lot of heat for that. And a lot of people were saying, why did she do that? In her defense, she was exhausted. I mean, she was fatigued. And she decided to concede the match, without playing that 1 hole, and just really to get her prepared for the U.S. Open, which they're playing this week in San Francisco. So I think there are some players who are like, yeah, it totally makes sense. Like you concede it, it's okay. It's kind of like the rules of the game. You can concede it. Others are like, how could you do that? Like, how do you just step away from that? So I don't know. I think she did what was best for her, and she stepped away from it. And listen, I think more players maybe they should do that more often, just concede it. But others are like, you should play it all out, play the game out. So anyway, I don't know. You have a thought on that, Sean?
No, I was just thinking, like, my only thought would be, do they have some sort of like backdoor deal where they split the second, like third and fourth money?
I don't think so.
Hey, fourth place is 10,000, third place is 20. Let's just take 15 each and not play.
Just split it. Yeah. No, I think Aria, knowing the competitor that Aria is, I mean, I know she wanted to go out there and play. I mean, Aria was struggling the day before also in 100-degree heat. I mean, I don't think anyone was like, oh, well, that's, oh, I really want to go and then play golf in this temperature. But I think they both were like, okay, that's fine. One walked away with 23 grand more. So
I don't.
But,
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it, considering that obviously it was for third or fourth place, right? Like, obviously you're not going to do it for first or second.
Right.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like college bowl games, right? If you're not playing for the national championship, there's guys who don't play. Like if you're playing in the Chick-fil-A bowl. Right?
They don't want to get hurt, right?
They don't want to get hurt. They're like, I'm not going to play. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. All right, you don't want to contend for third or fourth place. You want to reserve your energy, and you want to recoup and get ready for the U.S. Open. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem.
I agree. I agree.
Right. And with that being said, what can we expect this week in San Francisco?
I love the U.S. Open week. They're playing at the Olympic Club in San Francisco, John. Or I don't know if either one of you have ever played this course, but they're playing They're playing the lake course. I don't know if you did you play the lake course?
I have. Yes.
And it is a stunning golf course. The yardage is about 6,400 yards, 6,457 to be exact. It is going to be a grueling week for the ladies. I mean, they are talking about coastal and marine layer. The air is going to be heavy. It's going to be cold. It's wet. If you've watched any of the practice rounds, I mean, they're in full beanies and like winter gear. It's tough. The course is going to play about 200 yards longer because of the conditions. It is going to be very hilly. It's going to be challenging from tee to green. The guess is right now that the winner is going to be even par, is going to be who walks away with the trophy. I mean, this is the first major to take place at the Olympic Club since Webb Simpson won the U.S. Men's Open there back in 2012. He had a winning score of 1 over. So they're expecting this course to play really hard. There will be fans, so the energy is going to be really high there. The cut line is going to be about 60 players and ties, but there's a lot of really good storylines going into San Francisco. We've got Jessica and Nelly Korda, who are going to be grouped together for the first time, playing in this major event together. Both are looking for their first major win. They are playing alongside U.S. Open winner So-Yeon Ryu. We also have Paula Creamer and Christy Kerr, who are 2 former champions. They are going to be competing this week on special player exemptions, and they're teeing it off with Michelle Wie, which is going to be a lot of fun. Michelle Wie lives only 15 minutes from the course. She moved from Jupiter, Florida to the West Coast because of her hubs. Lives out in California now. And we also have Inbee Park, who's favored to win this. She's playing with Lydia Ko and Shan Chen Feng, 2 major champions and a former number 1, still in search of their first U.S. Women Open. Marina Alex will be playing in this, so we're going to shout out. We're going to give her an extra, little extra rooting this week. But there's just so much to bet on this week. I mean, I just think there's so many great stories, so many great players. I know Inbee Park is, she's prime. She's, favored to win this. I think she's a sure bet for sure. But, I like Jessica Korda out of the Korda sisters. I think she's got, she's the stronger of the 2 players, of the 2 sisters. But listen, Jessica and Nelly are going to be playing together. They play incredible golf when they get to play together. So if you've ever watched them and they've played Solheim Cup together, they just feed off of each other. So I think one of those 2 are going to surge at the end of the, by Friday afternoon. And so we're going to see one of them for sure.
That's who you like winning, Jessica Korda? You think
I do? I like
wins this?
Yep. My money's on Jessica Korda, and I got Lydia Ko top 5 with Inbee Park top 5 as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Christina's been crushing it all season long, both with the women and the men. Unfortunately, we didn't have Larry.
Yeah, Larry, I think Larry's here. I think he's here.
Is he?
Hi, Larry.
Let's find out. Larry
has been coming in and out of the stream, so as soon as he comes back in, I will bring him back in.
Okay, all right. In the meantime,
that sounded like the voice of God.
I know.
Larry's not here right now, but continue on with the show, please.
In the meantime, Matt, do you have any questions or comments?
Yes, we do. And for some reason, my camera is not working. I don't
Okay.
even know what it says on that screen right there. Anyways, I will put that off. Yeah, we have some in the comments. So here's an interesting one. Esquire Magazine, this is from YouTube. Esquire Magazine Summer 2021 edition has a story about former QB Johnny Manziel. He said that he's giving himself 12 years to make it on the PGA Tour. Thoughts on that?
Can I take the over? Can I take the over?
Please do.
Oh my God!
I
I mean,
don't
like,
know.
really?
I mean,
Could
like,
you just
I would
go
rather-
away? Just go away.
Just go join a club and play golf with your friends.
I would. I'd say try 25 years and play with the seniors.
Yeah, sure. He's going to
It's
beat Alex.
insulting
He's going
to
to beat
the
Alex
PGA Tour.
Cheka and Phil Mickelson. Sure. Okay.
He wants to be, no, whatever. I don't understand these players, these other athletes. When you retire from your sport, when we all retire, we go play golf, right? Go play golf. Don't care.
Like
Listen,
you got to think of it this way: you have to be at least a +5 or +6 to even think about playing
Oh,
professional.
it's insulting.
You know,
to the tour.
are we in agreement here that the best athlete to ever play the game of golf was Michael Jordan, right? And he didn't even come close to.
Look at Tony Romo. He's trying his heart out to get
That's
here.
right, Tony Romo, and you know, there's a lot of kickers in the NFL that have done that do extremely well at golf,
Yeah.
but none of them, and a lot of them have been playing since they were children, but
Yeah.
you know, not good enough. Oh, here we go, Larry.
There's Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Cutting in and out.
Hey,
Larry.
how you doing?
Good man. How are you?
Can you hear us?
I'm doing well.
They got Wi-Fi in
I'm a little
Columbus.
tired. I fell asleep.
Oh no, I think. Well, first things first.
I don't think my
hopefully-
internet's working very well.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe we come back to Larry later or on Sunday. Might be fun.
Okay. Matt, before we end the show, any other questions?
Yeah, we had a follow-up on that one. Who do you think has a better chance to make the tour, Romo or Manziel?
Oh, I'd say Romo.
Romo. Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Neither have a chance. But
I mean, he's playing. I mean, listen, there's so many football players, and look, gosh, there's so many pro baseball players. Like Aaron Hicks, man, he is a killer on the golf course. I mean, I love him. I mean,
even Steph Curry,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, listen, athletes are athletes, but golf, you know, you can play. John, I'm sure you'll agree. Playing pro golf and playing like amateur golf, they're two different beasts. You know,
Well,
once
yeah,
you
I
get
think-
out there, you can't even like.
playing at a pro level for any sport is special,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And just because you're a good football player or you quote unquote think you're athletic enough doesn't
Yeah.
mean you can play golf just as much
Yeah.
as Tony Romo probably can't go out and play NBA basketball either. I mean, you're good in your sport and that's it. You could be a great golfer, but to get to the upper echelon of the sport,
Yeah.
there's
No.
no chance.
I'll tell you, but Aaron Hicks, man, I think I could see him being a golfer.
Here's one thing, and I think we've buried the lead here. And John, if you can quickly just kind of elaborate the difference of learning to pick up the game of sport when you're a child compared to learning how to play the sport as an adult. And the majority of golfers we see as pros started playing and practicing as children. Why talk about the significance of that?
Yeah, it's just a matter of, just understanding the swing and learning how to hit the ball your way. I mean, your body will figure out a way to hit the ball and create speed. And we talk about it all the time when I have kids on the range, it's not so much about form. It's more a matter of being an athlete and hitting the ball, and they figure out the form. When you get to be older, and I think anyone who's listening who picked up the game at a later age in life could tell you that bad habits form very quickly. Like you're trying to do things. You're trying to mirror a swing that you've seen. You're looking at someone's picture. You're looking at a video where when you're starting young, it's just there's the ball, here's the club, I'm going to hit it as far as I can. And I'm going to figure out a way to do it. And it becomes second nature. And kids pick it up much easier, right?
Yeah.
Think of it any sport. I mean, I watch my son's a hockey player. He has grown exponentially as a hockey player just by being around the sport. And he figures stuff out on his own. And I think that's a challenge for athletes and people of all abilities as they get older, is to learn something new. And it takes a long, long time.
Exactly. Matt, any final question or comment before we sign off? We can't hear your audio. I'm sorry.
Okay, how about this?
There we go.
There
Okay.
you go, Matt.
We have one more. The Brooks versus Bryson beef. Do you think that is good for the game or not?
I think it's great for the game. Like I said, we're the three of us are going to be watching the U.S. Open. Okay. Now, if Brooks and Bryson are paired together as part of the threesome on Thursday and Friday, now you've got a whole nother group of people that aren't as avid golf watchers as we are that are going to be watching. I think it goes beyond the immediate, golf enthusiasts. It's become a big story. And so yeah, I mean, the ratings will be off the charts.
My wife loves to watch the Real Housewives of whatever, right?
Of it all.
New Jersey, New York, Orange County, everything. And she loves the drama behind it. The infighting, the little snippets, this and that, the finger pointing and yelling and this
table flipping.
Right, and table flipping. Thank you, Teresa. And so I think it's the same thing with this. Like, America loves heat. They love the backdoor infighting, this and that. They want to see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be great.
But
and, it's not probably good for golf, but it's good for ratings.
The only downside to that at the U.S. Open is if you have Bryson and Koepka paired together, the obnoxious comments we're going to hear. I mean, I got to tell you, that's my biggest pet peeve watching pro golf is the crowds are going to be obnoxious. It's going to be like just I just can't even. I want to just the noise. It's just going to be obnoxious. It's going to be distracting. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I want to see them play. I do not want to see them paired together.
Of course.
I'm being the adult in the room.
Right. I think people would love to watch that. No one's going to give a crap about the other match that they're doing in Montana. But if these guys are paired together, ratings are going to go through the roof.
Maybe do it at like a tournament that needs some ratings, not at the U.S. Open. Don't do it, USGA. Please don't do it.
Not at my tournament. No.
It will be interesting. Matt, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thanks for filling in for Brett tonight.
And congratulations to Brett. Congratulations.
Yes,
that's right, man.
Absolutely.
Xander is his son's name. Big Xander.
Fantastic.
What a great name.
Christina, how's that drink?
I'm down to my cherries.
Oh, okay.
It's actually pretty good. It's not bad.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, my liquor cabinet, I didn't even need to go to the store to buy liquor for this because the amount that I've been buying this entire season, I got it all. So I didn't even need to go to the liquor store. I just even had the fruit.
I love it. John, I love the hat.
Thank you.
Guys, great show as always. Appreciate you. If you missed any portion of the show, it will live in this space and be relevant. There you go. And be relevant leading up to Thursday. So make sure if you miss any portion of the show, my social media site, John, Christina, as well as PFN 365, you can find it there. Everybody, have a great night. And hopefully we gave you some winners heading into Thursday. Have a great week.